Isaac Newton in wrestling. Isaac Newton was an English mathematician, physicist, and astronomer who revolutionized science. Born in Woolsthorpe, England, he had a difficult childhood. His father died before he was born, and his mother remarried, leaving him to be raised by his grandparents. Newton studied at Cambridge University, where he developed his early theories on calculus, optics, and motion. In 1665, the Great Plague forced him to return home, and during this time, he made some of his greatest discoveries, including the laws of motion and universal gravitation, famously inspired by a falling apple. Isaac Newton in wrestling might seem like an odd pairing at first, but there's actually a strong connection when you apply his laws of motion to grappling techniques. Here's how Newtonian physics relates to wrestling. 1. First law, inertia. A wrestler or grappler at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by an external force. This explains why breaking an opponent's balance is crucial. If they're stable, they resist movement, but once you disrupt their equilibrium, they're easier to control. Stance and base. A wrestler in a solid stance is harder to move because of inertia. That's why wrestlers are taught to stay in an athletic position if they're off balance. It's easier to be taken down. 2. Second law, F equals ma. Force equals mass times acceleration. The harder and faster you shoot for a takedown, the more force you generate. That's why explosive double leg takedowns work. You're accelerating your mass toward your opponent with power. High crotch to lift. If you lift an opponent slowly, they can adjust and defend. But if you explode upward using hip extension and acceleration, you generate more force and complete the takedown. Blast double. The best wrestlers don't just attack with strength, they explode forward, increasing acceleration to amplify the force of impact. 3. Third law, action and reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you push against an opponent, they push back. Skilled wrestlers use this principle to set up throws and sweeps, baiting their opponent into reacting in predictable ways. Duck under. When an opponent pushes against you in the clinch, you can use their force to slip under their arm and take their back. Wrestling isn't just about strength, it's about leveraging physics to move efficiently, control opponents, and execute takedowns with precision. Newton's laws explain why proper technique beats brute force and why high-level wrestlers master momentum, balance, and reaction. Newton never wrestled, but if he had, he probably would have invented some ridiculously efficient techniques based purely on physics. Share, like, and subscribe. The Marshall Labs. Train the body, fuel the mind.